Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to tell you about the latest from W.E.B, Coliseum, out November 19th on Metal Blade Records. The album has 9 tracks, 39 minutes in length, and this is the band's 5th full-length studio album. They are a Greek extreme metal band. Now for the fans of the band, you're going to see that this album doesn't break from the past, but it does show you a new path towards the future. So there's going to be a lot of new elements to digest, and it's going to perhaps take some time to get into them and really understand the vision that the band had for this record. Once you get into the structure of the album, I wasn't a huge fan of how this album is built. The quality of the individual songs is undeniable. Every track has something exciting and interesting to offer, but they don't coexist well with one another. There's no sense of progression, there's no linear movement. It's an album that doesn't feel fluid and therefore hurts the overall playability and how engaged you can stay with it across 9 songs, 39 minutes. If they added some interludes, probably that would have helped. If they made some songs have some intros and outros that kind of bridge 2 worlds, that would also help. But the way it is right now, it's an album that really feels disconnected from itself, and that hurts the overall experience for the listener. Once you get into the soundscape, this album has an incredible cinematic drive, an incredible cinematic presence, very epic in its sound. And I think you have to attribute that predominantly to the symphonic elements, what they're doing, what they're giving this record. Now that's not the only thing that they're giving. They're also giving a lot of melody, creating atmosphere. But that cinematic presence that this record holds across each and every single song, consistent from that perspective, it's definitely created by what they did as far as the orchestrations of this album are concerned. Within that sound, and really pairing up well with those orchestrations, are the drums and the guitars, sometimes working really well together almost as one unit, and sometimes working in different fields. Now the drums always feel consistent to me across every single song. Heavy, powerful, grounding the record, creating power, creating aggression, creating intensity, helping those symphonic elements that are trying to expand the sound and making it more cinematic, giving even more of a bigger platform to work on. Really important to have the drums do that, but not overtake the entire album and the entire sound. And that's exactly what's happening on this record, song in and song out. On the other hand, you have the guitars. The guitars are perhaps a little bit more diverse. Sometimes they merge with the drums and they really become one as far as the heaviness, as far as the drive is concerned. Sometimes they weave into what the symphonic orchestrations are doing, and they create more melody, they create more darkness, they give more of a melancholic drive to the songs. They never really pick one side. Depending on where you are from song to song, and even within songs themselves, they just kind of weave from one element to the other, making both elements feel like they have a lot more strength behind them. The only thing missing from the guitars would be a little bit extra heaviness when they're paired up with the drums. The way they're currently sit, I felt like they almost disappear within the drum sound. I wanted them to have a parallel role, or a role that at least allows both to coexist with one another, where you can really hear what they're doing together in order to create that force that the album needed. As far as the vocals are concerned, I really enjoy the vocal performance, and I enjoy the diversity of vocals on this record. I mean, you get clean vocals, you have 2 vocalists, you get clean vocals, harsher vocals, backing vocals, choirs. There's a little bit of everything on this album. And when you look at that epic sense that the record has, when you look at that cinematic atmosphere that this album holds, you almost need that as well in order to really complement the experience well. Also, if you look at the lyrical content of this album, it really calls for more than a one-size-fits-all approach from beginning all the way to the end, and that's exactly what they're going to give you as far as vocals are concerned. Overall, this is an album that has incredible quality on the individual track basis, but as an album, it falls a little bit flat. It becomes a little bit redundant. It loses itself within itself. So if you're a fan of listening to an album from beginning to end, this record perhaps is going to be a little bit difficult for you to stay connected with it, or at least come back to it time in and time out again. I felt that if you listen to this album on a different style or with a different approach, if you just attack this record on the individual song basis, it has incredible tracks that are going to really become staples as far as what this band is all about moving forward. So it's a record that feels a little bit divided. It comes down to the listener, what your experiences are, how you like to digest a record, and what you came to expect from this band. For me, I enjoyed the individual songs. I didn't enjoy the album as a whole. Now, as far as favorite tracks are concerned, Murder of Crows is the one I want to start with, and this is my favorite song on the album. I actually felt that this record could have used another 1 or 2 songs like this one, because this is an absolute home run. It's a fantastic song all around. There's portions of this song that are very melodic, very melancholic, very methodic. The sound, the darkness that it creates, you feel like you're sinking in it. It's like musical quicksand. That's how this song feels at times. And then the drums come in with heaviness, with brutality. The guitar is really swerving between that heaviness and brutality and the more melodic, methodic, and melancholic sound, really pushing you in these two different arenas, in these two different directions. But every time you feel the brutality coming in, you're always expecting that darkness to overshadow the rest of the track and overshadow all of the experiences that you're having. The beauty in that is what really keeps you coming back for more as far as this song is concerned. The harsh vocals take control of the song. They feel like they dominate the track, allowing the clean vocals to break through and become more impactful because they're used more sporadically throughout the track, adding layers, adding substance to the experience, not just from a sound perspective, but from a vocal perspective as well. The whole cinematic drive exists in both. It exists in the sound that the song carries, and it exists in the execution that the vocals put forward. The guitar solo drips through this song. It really feels like it's melting within the track. So when you put all of these elements together, the sound, the epic nature of the song, the cinematic drive, those moments of quicksand replaced with moments of pure drive, of pure bliss, of pure aggression, put in a guitar solo that melts within the track, all of these things coming together really makes this a complete track all around. Next you have Coliseum. Coliseum is a song that has a little bit of a long intro, but that intro allows you to ease into the experience of the song. A song that really builds from its atmosphere, so it almost builds from the inside into the outside, not the other way around. It's an interesting aspect that this track has. It has heaviness, it has brutality, and it always has that symphonic drive behind it that really catapults the overall experience of the track, making the song feel more dynamic. Vocally, it's very engaging. It helps define the theme of the track. The vocals on this song really help the song come to life. They really give the song a little bit of a soul. The guitars extend the song. I really felt that the guitar sound overall in the execution on this track, it's really phenomenal, and it really jumps out as one of the elements that makes this track feel very unique within itself and within the whole record as well. Last but not least, you have Necrology, and this song has heavy guitars and heavy drums together. They really work well to create a drive, to create a force, to push you forward, but both elements are not walking away from one another. They're doing exactly the same thing in parallel, and that makes the track feel more robust. The symphonic elements are still there, but on this track, they have different nuances. They create a different atmosphere. They create a different vibe for the song. They don't have that same cinematic impact. They don't have that same cinematic drive. They're there more for atmosphere and for melody to kind of counterbalance the heaviness that exists from drums and guitars together. Vocally, there's more ebbs and flows, and I really felt that musically the song has ebbs and flows, but those ebbs and flows are better defined by what's happening vocally versus what's happening musically. The sound is excellent, the execution is phenomenal, a track that feels like it's always coming to life and it always has something new to give in any given corner. This is it. This is W.E.B with Coliseum out November 19th on Metal Blade Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, on the singles. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.